Our big story tonight is on the consistent attacks on teachers, non-locals in the northern part of Kenya, specifically the one that took place last week on Friday, leaving 3 dead, 1 injured. Tonight, I'm still with the Kupet Secretary General, Moses Nturima, as well as Mohamed Omar, who is the MP for Wajir South. Mheshimiwa, I'd like to begin with you. What would this mean for education in your constituency, in the county as a whole, considering over 60% of the staff in Wajir County come from outside the county, and we understand tonight 15 primary schools have been affected by, the exit of teachers. Why do you think this attack is so specific on teachers, and what effect will it have?
Look, Yvonne, nothing less than devastation is what I can term this. Nothing less than devastation, and students, families, parents, teachers, and the rest of the people are so devastated that, that education has, again, taken the brunt of Al-Shabaab and militants and terrorism. When education takes the brunt of all the challenges that this country is facing, then it means that fewer generations will be facing dire consequences. And,
carry on.
And to say the least, our teachers are the ones that we depend on in terms of developing the next generations, as I've said earlier. And what it means is that there has been dismal performance in terms of the results that our children have been getting over the years. Now, it will actually cripple further the challenges that they've been facing in terms of passing the exams and the likes. So a huge shock, a huge loss. That's what I will say. All
right, let me ask you this. Are you satisfied with this amount of security that is being offered by the national government? Security is indeed a national function. In fact, this evening, we've just heard from the Wajir County Commissioner, who says 100 police reservists have been deployed to boost security after the attack last week. What's your assessment of the level of security that's being offered?
Look, I'll take it into several stages here. This is the past, the present, and the future, or what is being done right now. I'll put it into those terms. First of all, before I go into that, we must appreciate the fact that these are terrorists who can strike anywhere, anytime, and has been seen historically where they have attacked initially. In the past, in Kenya, within the capital city, and many other places. Now, these are people, culprits, who can appear anytime, anywhere. And therefore, we cannot predict where particularly they will be attacking. That's one thing. The second important thing here is that the security situation in the past has been dismal. Let me put it that way bluntly. But challenges have been seen over that. And what is happening is that the government has decided to take steps and have put forth security personnel that can safeguard the security of the teachers and families who are living in those porous areas. Remember, where these attacks are happening are not in major cities, in major towns, but particularly in rural, far-flung areas. And therefore, given that is the circumstance and the situation, the government has decided to put forth home guards, or those ones who are known as KDF, they are known as KPRs, have been put forward, and we hope that that number will be increased from 100 to 1,000 or beyond. And therefore, we hope that safeguard will help the security of the area.
Yeah. Okay. So let's ask the same question to Moses. Does this give you any comfort? 100 police reservists now been deployed to Wajir?
For us to bring a lasting solution to these security concerns, we are only proposing that the Minister for Interior organizes and gives teachers guns. Because these home guards have their homes, and whenever these people attack, these home guards may not be anywhere. So we have already written to the Interior Minister to give us to give our teachers guns so that they can protect themselves. Because
so Moses, your solution is to arm the teachers, because this could go either way. Do you think the teachers are sufficiently trained to be able to use weapons to defend themselves?
You don't need 2 years to train us to to handle a gun. Even members of parliament who came the other day, they own guns, and they are protecting themselves.
But they do go for extensive training. Some would say this would be creating a situation of anarchy.
No, it is not. You know, teachers are few in that region, and these are teachers who are being killed. The security personnel are not anywhere. We hear teachers have been murdered. We have not heard that as many security officers have been killed.
Okay,
so what we are suggesting is that let the Minister for Interior consider training teachers to protect themselves.
And if that doesn't happen, do you have another option?
The other option that we can suggest right now, and we have suggested in the Teacher Service Commission, is that they transfer teachers to areas, to safer areas, and also transfer the pupils so that they can benefit from learning.
So transfer the pupils?
Yes.
That is all,
because
all the children, allow me to understand this, all the children who are actually in Wajir County, who are residents of Wajir County, you want everybody evacuated? So are they evacuated together with their families? What happens? Do we leave Wajir empty with no residents? Is that the solution you're proposing?
The government is unable to provide security for teachers. The teachers cannot stay in Wajir. The place is hostile. So let them look, because education is a right. Let our children get education elsewhere. And that is where we are saying they transfer them to safer places where they can get learning together with other children.
Okay, Moses, allow me to follow on that thought for a moment, because whilst we have seen these attacks in the northern part of Kenya, it is fair to say that we have attacks in perhaps places that you would not imagine, that one would think would be rather secure, in some of the big cities and towns in this country, including in Nairobi. Do you think there'll be any safer here, for example?
Well, the frequency with which these attacks happens in the part of Northeastern is worrisome. We are saying that they can attack from anywhere, but the frequency in Northeastern is worrisome. So that is why we are suggesting that instead of paralyzing learning in all the schools of Wajir, then let us have guns, or alternatively, we transfer the teachers, the people, to safer places so that they can have learning, because teachers cannot teach under fear.
Okay, as we discuss this, I'd like us to take a look at some of the statistics that we have put together for you of the number of schools in what was then the northeastern province in that region, as well as enrollment. And we will have this conversation as we go. As you can see, it's quite, a big number of schools that we're talking about in Mandera, Wajir, and Garissa. If you take a look at those numbers for the primary schools, it's well over 600. And for the secondary schools, it's a little over 160. As well as the enrollment, if you take a look at the enrollment year on year, it has been increasing from 2011 to 2016. This is just a summary, but it started off at 87,000 in Mandera, is now 105. So this shows you that there is, a yearning to learn. And Mheshimiwa, perhaps we can talk about these numbers with you. I mean, enrollment is increasing year after year. And this we took from the time that Kenya went into Somalia, that incursion into Somalia in 2011, towards the end of that year. So, Mheshimiwa, this is obviously a sign that, the thirst for education is, a rather serious one and is on the rise. So this would be a serious blow, wouldn't it?
Yes, no doubt, Yvonne. Education is rising, is on the rise. There are many children who are coming to school. Many families are settling down and settling down from pastoralism, and therefore nomadic pastoralism, that is, and therefore many children are going to school. The society is learning. The society is going to contemporary lifestyle, and therefore it is very important that the government sees that where we've started and where we are right now in terms of education in the northern region is really quite pleasing. But what the challenges that we have are no doubt things that can be managed. And they can be managed through security, they can be managed through mitigations. And look, let me put one thing clear. We must assure the teachers, that there are safeguards and safety nets for them that we are looking at their security. There are 3 units of KDF in Wajir. And 2 of them are in Wajir South, by the way. And very important, 3 of them, let me even put it that way, because the main military camp there is part of Wajir South, if I can put it bluntly and clearly out there. We've got all those military personnel. We've got the police, we have got the APs. These are the people who are going to safeguard and are trying their best to make sure that the teachers stay where they are, do their duties, and continue. Right. Remember, the teachers that are now having the challenges and facing the challenges are the ones that came after 5 years. You see, the ones that were there for 5 years have left. Now, the ones that are currently there are the ones that are quite new that TSC has posted there. And we want to assure them that us as leaders, we are doing our best to make sure that the security personnel and the security apparatus of this country functions in every corner of this country, in every sphere and corner of my constituency, in every end of our county. And therefore, we want to reassure them that this was an incident, a barbaric incident, an incident we all condemn wholeheartedly. And it won't happen again, hopefully. And we pray for that. But we will be putting safeguards in this case. All
right, Moses, as we conclude, you know, at the start of this show, you said that the residents are colluding with the attackers. But I certainly must remind you of that very brave and courageous incident that we saw in 2015, a man who lost his life trying to save those of those passengers that were attacked in a bus. That has even been the subject of an Oscar-nominated film. So certainly, would it be correct for you to make that very blanket statement that, you know, all the locals are colluding with the attackers to target teachers?
Well, that is an isolated case, but we want to congratulate the gentleman who shielded
yeah, I mean, shouldn't we be encouraging more of these?
But we are asking the community also to protect the teachers, because whenever they are butchered, we don't hear any one of them having been attacked in most of the cases. So we are saying that we don't want to condemn the entire community, but we need them to be more friendly and assist the teachers also to assist them.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, I know you want to have a rebuttal. 30 seconds, if you can.
I want to have a rebuttal on that. Yes. Let me be frank with Moses here. Moses, we don't need anecdotal information. We need practicality. The practicality is that the community are willing to support their teachers, and they have done that. They have done it in the past, and they continue to do that. Therefore, this method of, you know, painting everybody with the same brush is utter arrogance. And let me put it clearly that nobody is condoning these condemnable attacks. And we don't agree that. I totally disagree with him. You have to make sure that you tell the teachers the right things, the communities the right things, and the information. We defend our teachers, and we love our teachers, and we will stand by our teachers. And we are all humans, we are all Kenyans, and we will defend those people that are important in our societies, and those that are less privileged as well. Let me put it clearly.
Thank you for that, gentlemen. That's all the time we had for. I thank you very much, Wajir South Member of Parliament, Professor Mahmoud Sheikh. Thank you as well to the KUPPET Secretary General Moses Nthurima. This is an important story. It's our big story tonight. It'll continue to develop tomorrow. This is because the Committee on Education in Parliament will tomorrow at 10 a.m. meet with the Teachers Service Commission to discuss the management of teachers and their transfer from the insecurity-prone areas. And that is something we will definitely be following for you here on KTN News. Thanks very much for watching our show tonight. I'm Yvonne Okwara Matole. KTN Prime is up next. Good evening.